Meredith Crowley, professor of economics at the University of Cambridge in the UK and a specialist in international trade. Dr. Crowley, thank you so much for joining us. Now, as we just heard, the deadline on tariffs for 66 countries, the European Union, Taiwan, and the Falkland Islands, has been pushed back to August 7th. Is that delay at all significant?
It's not really significant. Since Liberation Day on April 1st, the president has repeatedly pushed back the deadline when he still wants to get a concession or some type of objective achieved in the negotiations. And realistically, there's just never been enough time since he announced these tariffs in April to get all of these deals done. And so every time he kind of comes up against one, he does a bit of an extension. So I think this next one might be solid, but there's a few countries where there's really still some significant things to be worked out.
It seems like these tariff discussions can feel really ambiguous for our viewers and for anyone who's trying to figure out how it's going to affect them. If the tariffs do go through next week, what products are most likely to be impacted?
So we already know from the European Union that we import into the United States a ton of pharmaceutical products from the European Union, and the tariff on those is going to go up 15%. So that's been decided. We also import a lot of pharmaceuticals from Switzerland, and there the current tariff they're talking about is 39%, and that's really very high. It's not clear how this will ultimately impact the U.S. consumer because it could be that some of those pharmaceutical manufacturers decide to cut their profit margin on what they sell in the U.S. in order to kind of shelter the consumer in the U.S. a bit from the tariff. But ultimately, we would expect the price on pharmaceuticals to go up, which is tough. Also, all European cars are going to face a 15% tariff. Previously, it was just 2.5%. So most people buying European cars are buying sort of luxury European, fast cars. So that's going to be a significant price increase. And then more generally, there's a huge slate of tariffs against a host of countries that make lower quality, sort of lower end goods. So things like clothing. So all of sub-Saharan Africa is facing a minimum tariff increase of about 15%, some countries even higher. So because that one is so broad and is affecting so many countries, you should expect clothing prices in the U.S. will go up a lot because the U.S. doesn't actually make very much clothing itself. Most of that's imported.
Well, that's significant and obviously going to impact people directly. Let's talk about the president's mention of tariffs that will usher in newfound wealth. He keeps talking about the richness, right? And that it will lead to new factory jobs in the United States. What do you think of that? Is he right?
So, no, it's very, very unlikely to create any new manufacturing jobs in the United States. So when new factories are opening in the United States, we tend to make factories that are more automated than existing factories. So essentially, if you're building a brand new factory to manufacture cars in the US, you're going to set it up to use fewer workers than you did on the last factory you made.
Well, we'll keep watching those job numbers. I know they certainly are down still. It's great to be with you, Meredith Crowley, professor of economics at the University of Cambridge in the UK.
Thanks very much.